So who am I speaking with?
My name is Larry Edwards. I'm the president and CEO of the Tyne Group.
And what does the Tyne Group do?
Well, the Tyne Group is a holding company of several other companies that we do construction management, technology development, small business consulting. We've got our hands in a little bit of everything.
When did you start using a CRM solution? And as far as I know, Zoho was not your first CRM solution. What did you start using first?
Well, if I must tell, I was using Siebel systems, Siebel Personal Edition 6.0 back in the late 90s. And then I moved over to a Jamcracker type of ASP solution in the late 90s, and then moved to Salesforce.com. And I was using Salesforce.com up until I found Zoho, and the switch was seamless.
So let's back up so you've actually got a pretty long history, 4 different CRM packages. Prior to using the first one, when and why did you know you needed to use CRM?
Well, when you're using contact management, we used to use Outlook, and all our contacts in the Outlook were exactly that, contacts in Outlook. You couldn't do anything else with them other than send an email, maybe schedule something with them. We needed something more robust. The functionality that Salesforce automation allows is to be able to track opportunities, customers, issues, in one unified look, and that's what we started looking for.
So you jumped from one to the next, and let's just jump all the way. You went from Salesforce to Zoho. Why did you make that leap?
Well, Salesforce seats at $65 and Zoho seats at close to $4. So and then the functionality is almost identical. So it was a no-brainer in terms of the dollars and cents.
So really, same functionality, comically cheaper cost. I mean, is that what it really just boils down to?
Astronomically cheaper, and we can use it on all our devices.
That's great. And was there any problem moving over from Salesforce to Zoho in terms of importing, in terms of training, in terms of the same tools that you had at Salesforce or over at Zoho?
Well, it was actually a little bit simpler than I expected it to be, because we simply downloaded to a CSV file, uploaded it to Zoho, and then they have a lot of online tutorials from videos to show you how simple it is. Because we used a Salesforce automation tool before, this was quite simple because it was simply add contacts, accounts, opportunities.
Excellent. And so let's go into how are you using Zoho CRM today?
I'm using Zoho because Tyne Group has 4 operating different entities. Each one of its entities has its own Zoho account. So each one has its own customers, its own base, and we kind of roll it up into one. For us, it's easier because I can look down as CEO onto all my operating divisions and see where my money's coming from.
So are you actually integrating the Zoho CRM with anything else, either within Zoho or outside?
Well, we use multiple apps. For example, we're starting to use their project application as well as their HR application. We're starting to dabble a little bit in their invoices because we started to see that we can do a lot of commonality with that one login.
And what has it meant for you now that you're using Zoho in terms of functionality, in terms of effectiveness?
Effectiveness is actually great because I have the iPad too, so with the 3G connection, I can pull it up, I can look at my accounts while I'm with the customer to see if there's any issues, and then tag actions right immediately. For me, it makes sense because we don't have a huge sales force. We've got about 5 or 6 guys that I wanted to test it out, make sure it was perfect for me. But then, now that I'm seeing that we're starting to use a lot more functionality and a lot more of our divisions, it's going to make sense as a standard platform.
Looking back at your history of working with CRM and looking at yourself today, is there anything you would have done differently? Like knowing what you know today, it's like, oh, I would have handled this a lot better.
Yeah, I would have, because I've worked in different fields. I've been in the technology area for a little bit. Siebel was a bear. It was just way overblown, and for the cost, at almost $2,000 a seat, was astronomical. Now you have to do a little bit more research, and it's come up with something a lot cheaper.
So, learning about price. Well, okay, so say you're talking to somebody here at this conference who is looking for a CRM solution. What would you tell them to be looking at when they're evaluating what's right for them?
Well, the first thing I would tell them is where they're going. Once you identify where they're going, they can then find the appropriate tool to help them get there. Zoho offered an opportunity because it's similar in terms of features and functionalities of some of the major players out there, such as Salesforce.com, such as Siebel, such as Microsoft Solutions. And for the dollar figure, You get the integration with Office, you get templates, you get all the opportunities that you can use, and then you just can't beat the dollar figure. I come down to, when I look at $65 for a professional edition, $120 for one seat versus $3 to $4. $3 to $4, that's what it is, and you get the same functionality.
I think I just spent that buying a coffee at Starbucks today.
I did too.
So the last question, once it's implemented, what advice would you give to someone, since you've got a lot of experience with CRM, to a real novice about how they can get up and running?
Once you get your data in there, then this is where you log in every day, especially for your, if you want your pulse on your business. Your data is only good as how you use it. If you just log it in and you visit once a week, then it's going to be exactly that week old. But if you live and you breathe and you work with it, you'll find out it'll be very helpful. And then you'll find yourself always going back to it. I had a meeting, I need to update my meeting. Oh, I need to fax this or send this to so-and-so. You add it there. That way, it's a continuity for your entire business.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.